Welcome back, and I've got a question for you. Do you prefer matte or gloss finish? Please let me know in the comments while I share with you how you could turn a matte finish into a gloss finish. So we cover both. Let's demold this mold. This one here is a candle mold. So what you find when you use candle molds is they will come out as a matte finish, which I kind of like. I think I'm a matte girly. But if you would like to learn how you could transform this from matte to gloss, stick around because I'm going to teach you how you can do that. So firstly, let me tell you, it is super important to choose the right resin to top coat with. Not all resins will work for a top coat, and I'm using our Resi Glaze to show you exactly how I get the perfect gloss top coat. Resi Glaze is perfect for top coating because it has a secret sauce inside it that breaks that surface tension, meaning that you don't end up with fisheyeing and all of those sorts of things when trying to top coat your pieces. So let me tell you a little bit more about how to mix up your Resi Glaze. So as I mentioned, our Resi Glaze has a secret sauce inside that allows to break that surface tension and stop that fisheyeing. However, that secret sauce can sometimes settle to the bottom when being stored. So every time before you mix up, make sure you give your part A a little bit of a shake to make sure that secret sauce is all the way through before actually mixing your resin. Now, our Resi Glaze is a 2-to-1 mixing ratio, which means that your part A is your 2 part and your part B is your 1 part. This is by volume, not by weight. So you don't have to get any scales out. What I will use today is our mixing ratio cups because these are a great way to get your mix right every time. So every time before you mix up, make sure you don't have anything that you really don't want to get resin on. So if you've got an outfit that you love, don't wear that. Wear something that you don't mind, that if accidentally you get any resin on you, you're not going to be too shattered about it. So let's go. Oh, hang on. Gloves. We need to put our gloves on. This is super, super important before I start to open my resin or mix up. So let's put those on. Okay, so like I said, I've shaken up my part A glaze and I'm ready to pour in my 2-part. What I am doing is I am using my 2-to-1 numbers here, and I'm going to pour in my first column underneath my 2. What I'm going to do is I'm only mixing up a little bit because it's a top coat for a small piece, so I'm going to go to that first line just above the 1 underneath the 2 column. Okay, this is our first step with our part A. Slow and steady. Okay, I'm happy that that is my part A up to my 1 line. Now it's time for me to grab my part B of my glaze, and I am going to pour that on top of what I just poured. But now I'm going to my 1 column here, and I'm going to go to the 1 line above that in that column. Hopefully that made sense. Slow, slow, slow. Perfection. Now that my mix is right, I need to stir this. This is a slow and tedious process. Make sure you check the time. So I want to mix this for 4 to 5 minutes to make sure I've stirred it completely together. Like I said, I'm going to do this for 4 to 5 minutes, and the reasoning behind that is if I don't take my time mixing these 2 parts together and my hardener doesn't get all the way through my resin, I'm going to have some uncured resin in there and I'm going to ruin my project. So I don't want to ruin my project, so I'm going to take my time. I'm going to stir this, and I'm not going to stir it too rough because I don't want to incorporate any bubbles. Now, while Resi Glaze is amazing, I'm not going to have to use anything to get rid of bubbles. I still don't want to incorporate any. So now I'm just going to stir, stir, stir. All right, I think we're good. All right, so now that our resin is mixed for that 4 to 5 minutes, I know it's tedious, but please do it. We are going to set this aside and set up our station of our project that we want to top coat. All right, so I'm going to put that aside. I am grabbing a cup. I am grabbing my matte piece and I am popping it down on here. Okay, now the next most important thing that I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my level. I always have a level handy because when you're top coating your resin or any resin piece really, you should make sure that your surface is level, because yes, the resin will level, but it will level to whatever surface you have created. So let's make sure that our rainbow is level, and it is perfect. So it's time to top coat. All right, so what I am going to do is I'm just going to grab a paddle pop stick to help me with the applying of. P.S. I just love these colours. These are the colours that I've used in this rainbow. Gorge. Okay, so let's go. I'm just going to go with the flood coat method. So I just pour my glaze on top. Okay, and now I'm just going to grab my paddle pop stick to kind of help move it around. Now it will automatically level itself. Now I've put a lot on here, way more than I probably needed, but that's okay. Because it's just going to flow off. Now because of my edges, I'm just going to run my paddle pop stick along my edges just to make sure that I've coated those sides. It is really this simple. Like I said, I've done a flood coat on this one, but you can do less and brush on. You will notice there is no bubbles in this clear or in this glaze. It's insanely good. Like there's no need for torches or isopropyl alcohol or any of those things. There's just no bubbles. Like you can see it, right? Okay. Now I'm just gonna let this level itself because I made sure I made this space level, and I'm gonna leave it to cure overnight, and I'm going to come back. Oh, actually, I just noticed we need a little bit more here. Just obviously looking in close to make sure I've covered everywhere. I don't know about our top side because I can't see it. Another thing that I probably should have mentioned is that I did pour this resin within 72 hours. If I hadn't have poured my resin within that 72-hour period, I should sand my piece before putting a top coat on it. So that's also important, that if you've got another piece, or maybe you're even top coating a painting or something else, just making sure that you sand that piece before you go top coating. So if you're finding it hard with the paddle pop stick, you can also brush this on, especially the sides. I do like the flood coat method, but it is always good for a flat surface with the flood coat. If you've got something with the edges, a brush would be more helpful. So again, making sure that if you have older pieces that you're then coming back to, make sure you give it a light sand before top coating. Hopefully we are good. Okay, so that is the process, and this is how your piece will come out after the fact. So this one's one that's cured overnight and is all good with the gloss, and it looks so good. Still think I prefer the matte, but it looks really good. So not only can you use this method for making a matte piece gloss, you can also turn those pieces that you've demolded and you're not quite happy with because maybe your mold's a little bit old and it's gone a little bit funny or funky, or maybe there's a little hole or something in a trinket tray or something like that that you want to fill in, you could absolutely top coat those too. And if you do polymer clay earrings or anything like that, as long as you give your polymer clay a light sand before going over the top, you could use this for doming as well. So which one did you prefer, the matte or the gloss? Don't forget to let me know in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed because we have so many more videos in store for you. Now, we also have all our social platforms where you can check out other hints and tricks, so make sure you follow us there too. Now, I'm really excited for our next video. I'll see you there.